Hello and welcome to the final 10. It's Friday. We are 2 games in, 8 to go. I'm Sam Davis.
I'm Tom Jordan.
And we started off so well with those final 10 by beating Bristol City 3-2. But on Wednesday night at the Hawthorns, it sort of all fell apart within about 12 minutes. And Andy Carroll was our nemesis, mate.
Andy Carroll, masterclass. Yeah, fair play to him. He had a good game, didn't he? He really rattled us. And we were kind of mindful of that. We thought, Andy Carroll, he's going to cause some problems, but we really didn't deal with it. I was hoping Nat Phillips potentially would be able to handle him, but he really couldn't. Hung off Smith well, and yeah, they earned it, didn't they? They really did, and he could have had a few more. So, disappointing one, but I like that we've got a game straight round the corner to react.
So, it's Friday, and it's an early kick-off tomorrow, 12:45. We're going to be travelling up today, staying on the outskirts of Sheffield in Worksop overnight and then going in first thing. And on this show, we're going to zip through all the essential information you need to know, including... So, Parker's presser, there wasn't one, but he has spoken to the media, so we find out the latest team news ahead of what's going to be a crunch match at Bramall Lane. We'll also find out about the opposition as well, playing the Blades, who's going to be back for them, and Tom's got a horrible stat that he come across this morning, which doesn't fill me with confidence. We'll also go through the pubs and predictions. Look, it's an early kick-off, but you might want to get a brunch somewhere, or maybe a cheeky flat white before the game, or a pint. We'll tell you whereabouts you can go for a drink. We'll also do our predictions, of course, as well, but predicting the chosen 11 as well, that's going to be a really difficult one because changes seemingly need to be made. So yeah, we got all that coming up, but yeah, West Brom then, we won't talk about it too much, mate.
Please don't.
We started as we intended to go on in that fixture. We were at 6s and 7s early doors, mate, and just all over the shop. At 2-0, we started to then put it in a little bit more in the second half. We showed a little bit more intensity, but when you're looking at the stats, it looks like it was just the players that had an off day, and tactically we were all right. 17 shots, none of them on target, but I can't say I felt very good even despite those stats.
No, and I think once you give away, not one but 2 silly goals, you're always going to come out second half and have all the ball, because West Brom didn't need to do anything. They had the game there, and their game plan was really good, and they would have thought, we're 2-0 up here, let Bournemouth have the ball, let them chuck balls in the box. They're not getting in behind, they're not, as you say, they're not testing the keeper at all, so don't worry about it. And yeah, it was a weird one because you look at them stats, as you say, and 17 shots, none on target, but at no point did I really think we were going to score. We didn't. None of the chances were really close. So yeah, it was a poor one. I thought the subs were. Dembele tried, but I thought Campbell was poor when he come on. Lowe didn't have enough time to really impact the game either, and it did. I think Steve Hensel said it after the game. It stunk a bit of desperation in terms of we were at 1 minute, Solanke was dropping deep, and Dembele was going up front, and then Kelly was over to the left back, and then Nat Phillips was up front, and we were just chucking balls in the box, which, as Scott said, we don't do, but then we just kept going out wide and putting balls in the box, and maybe that's credit to West Brom as much as it is, kind of a negative on our part, but it was just a really frustrating night, mate, and hopefully we could just dust ourselves off, because as you said, we've been better over the last few before that.
That stat of having 17 shots, it felt wrong because a lot of those shots seemed to be pot shots from outside the box. Most of them invariably went over the bar, and there was always 4 or 5 men in between the ball and the goal, and even the shots that we had inside the box, West Brom had a number of players in the way. I think one of the clearest opportunities was possibly Jordan Zamura's, where he should have probably done better with it. Dom Solanke had a couple of chances from a tight angle. He had a header that he possibly could have done better with, and then a shot where the angle never truly favoured him, but in terms of clear-cut chances, we didn't carve them open. And I said on a tweet that I don't think anyone could be exonerated after that performance, because I think that tactically we weren't particularly very good. I think in hindsight, which is very easy to do, we probably should have made some changes because some players look dead on their feet. I know you love Jeff Lerma, but the stats indicate that he didn't particularly have a good game.
Yeah, no, look, he lost possession more times than he has all season. I think he didn't have a good game. But as you say, it's hindsight, isn't it? I think I said in the preview that Parker was damned if he did or didn't really. If he had made changes and we had lost the game, everyone would have said, why are you changing a team that's 1-2 on the bounce? So yeah, I understood it, but yeah, maybe in hindsight he would have made a few. It was tactically, it just confused me because I felt like everyone knew how West Brom would play, and we seemingly looked a bit surprised. And also it felt like, I don't want to put this on the players, but it felt like we thought we could just rock up. We're doing all right at the moment. West Brom ain't. We'll rock up and have too much for them, and obviously that didn't turn out to be the case. But it was a disappointing night. It felt reminiscent of a lot of away games recently, so it felt like we turned the corner a little bit. But unfortunately, it wants to be, as you say, one of them pot shots takes a deflection and goes in. It could be a different game, but it didn't happen. And yeah, I just felt we played into their hands, mate. They got a couple of big centre halves that were going, go on, just chuck balls in. We'll deal with that all day long. And we even looked a little bit vulnerable on the counter attack as well, which is a bit of a worry. I think Travers made a save in the second half and he tipped over the bar and they nearly broke away a few times. But yeah, it was just nothing went right, did it? Nothing went right at all. Bad. The clinicality at both ends of the pitch was really bad.
You were saying that one of the stats for the player that won the ball back the most was someone that I didn't particularly expect.
Yeah, Jane Anthony won the majority of his ground duels, I believe, which is interesting. It shows, I think, sometimes with Jaden, he goes under the radar a little bit. He does get the ball back quite high up the pitch sometimes and nick it away.
You can see why he goes for him rather than maybe Dembele, who's just his mindset is attack.
Yeah, definitely. He never really takes Anthony off till late in the game when we're really chasing, does he? Which he did in this one. But yeah, I didn't think I look at the kind of duels and stuff from the defensive output, and we really got bullied. We really did. We didn't win many of them at all. Barely won any headers and things like that. So it showed that when we were winning the ball back, it was higher up the pitch, and defensively we were a little bit all over the place. But it was a bit of both, wasn't it? Defensively we were all over the place, but then we had 17 shots and none on target, so we weren't very good going forward either. So yeah, definitely one to forget, mate, that trip. But hopefully we can bounce back.
Yeah, credit to West Brom who stuck to their guns and did really well. So the Baggies bounced back to some extent, and Steve Bruce got one over us. Yet again, got to say, the fans up there were down to earth, they were lovely, and the away day guide, the away day review on the tier list will be coming out, I'm sure, in the next few days or so. But we've got something to deal with between now and then, and that's a trip to Sheffield United. Here's the league table then, Tom, and currently Sheffield United, they sit in 6th place. They're on 64 points after playing 40 games, and I'm looking at that table now, and there's a team that's worrying me more than most. I'm not sure if you agree.
Nottingham Forest.
Look at that record.
It's very impressive.
4 wins in a row.
And I think the fact that we know that we play the same amount of games as them as well, is a bit of a concern. I mean, they'll be looking at it going, that rearranged game against Bournemouth, that could be a 6-point. Look at it. Yeah. We're hoping it'll be done by then. Do I think Nottingham Forest will win every game? No. Have they got a decent run? I think they've got Birmingham tomorrow at home. You never know with the Championship, but that looks a bit of a banker. They're looking good, and they're the team probably to fear at the moment. Having said that, even though they've played 2 games more, Sheffield will be thinking, if we beat Bournemouth, that's almost like a 6 points in the sense that you're beating your direct rivals. It's Forest are the ones to worry about. I think it's a massive weekend, mate, because if we beat Sheffield, I just think that does it for me. If we lose and Forest win, it's down to 5 points? No games in hand, they got to play us. Yeah. Then we start thinking, hang on a minute. But you never know, it might work in reverse, that then Forest start feeling a bit of pressure. I do feel a little bit like I know there's them 2 games where I thought we played really well and turned a corner, but there was parts of me that thought, we're going to talk about it when we go into the lineup, but some of these players now, I'm thinking, are they feeling a bit of pressure? Are they starting to feel it a little bit? Do we need a bit more experience in there? Who knows? But yeah, we're suddenly, after the week, looking over our shoulders a little bit more. And
can Forest sustain their run? I mean, who knows? I mean, Aston Villa did when they got promoted. I mean, they went on a ridiculous run, and maybe that's Forest this season. We're certainly hoping not. Right then, let's get on to Park Espresso. So Scott Parker will be hoping that Cherries have got the same group of players to pick from as he did on Wednesday night. Before that game on Wednesday, he was very positive in the press conference. He didn't do a presser. Look, there's going to be a quick turnaround, so I suspect what's going to be happening is for the midweek games he might be doing one. For the weekend ones, maybe not. That seems to be what's happened this time round. Of course, we've beaten 2-0 at the Hawthorns, and Parker at that time could name an unchanged 11. But on the bench, he did welcome back Freddie Woodman after he had an illness. Kiefer Moore with a foot injury and Junior Stanislas with a hamstring are the only players that were sidelined on Wednesday due to injury, and they're slowly coming back into fitness as well. I think some of them being played on the grass at the moment, which is brilliant. The likes of Emiliano Marcondes, Mepham, Ethan Laird, Gav Kilkenny, Robbie Brady, James Hill, Leif Davis were all left out of the squad to face West Brom.
That shows the depth, doesn't it? Unbelievable, shows the depth. And yeah, I was just going to say that with Moore getting back, I feel like, look at the end of the season and go, God, if we had him for West Brom, because we were talking about the crosses, that was a game for Kiefer Moore, wasn't it? He could have done the Andy Carroll at the other end. Yeah. But good to see him and Junior back on the grass. It looks like they might still have a part to play, mate.
It seems that our plan to counteract the fact that we've not got Kiefer Moore is just to whack Nat Phillips up for the remaining minutes of the game, just to see if he can win some headers.
I suppose we could point to the fact it kind of worked at Blackpool, to be fair, so I kind of got it, and we were putting balls in the box, so why not, eh?
So, top scorer Dominic Solanke with 25 goals this season. He was seen limping off during the closing stages of the West Brom game, and the severity of his injury actually remains very unclear. I mean, I noticed after the match against Bristol City on the alt highlights that they put on AFCB.UK, after Dembele's goal, he sort of held his back a little bit, and it looked like he had a bit of a pull. But
carrying the team.
Yeah, probably. But he was fine. I'm just hoping that he can retain that stat of being the only player to have started every single match for AFC Bournemouth this season. And he's crucial to how we play. But I've got to say, he was being used in. I mean, he came deeper at the weekend. In the week, it was all very much higgledy-piggledy, but it all needs Dominic Solanke to be pivotal in that side. Yeah,
absolutely. I think when I was looking through the stats, I had a little look at Dom, and his actual kind of passes and winning the ball back was all really, really good. Yeah. It just wasn't where we needed him. You know, he still, even if he has a bad game, he still always puts a shift in, doesn't he? And does everything he can. But yeah, we probably weren't helping him enough. But yeah, I mean, whatever's happened to him, just inject him with something. We need him. But
zone, whatever.
Yeah, I think normally I'd think, all right, if he's got a little bit of a knock, he'll be all right. But because of the quick turnaround, makes me worry a bit. It wasn't a Tuesday; it was a Wednesday. It's not a normal set; it's an early. It just concerns me a little bit. But yeah, I'd like to think that we will do whatever we can to make sure he's on the pitch, and hopefully it was something or nothing. But yeah, we certainly need Dom Solanke, mate. That's for sure. We talk about how big the squad is, but he's the one. I think the one player that we cannot lose. We cannot lose him. So, yeah, hopefully he's all right. Hopefully there's no knocks from the week, even though I'm expecting a few changes just to freshen it up. And yeah, the squad's strong. And I mean, even Robbie Brady, I forgot about. He played for the under-23s the other day. Could he be a little, just because of his versatility, could he be someone off the bench? I said to you briefly that I would, even games like that, we saw it at Blackpool, I would chuck Marcondes on with the games like that, but he's not even getting on the bench, which is because I know the options are great, but for me, someone like a Marcondes, I always like on the bench if you've got a game like we did in the week.
Let's get into the opposition, shall we? Okay, so Sheffield United at home are quite formidable, Tom.
Yeah, that was the stat you were alluding to. I had a little look, and they haven't lost at home in the league since October. It's a long time. Having said that, I said to you, as I always try and get the positive spin on it. Yeah. Before West Brom, we were going, Steve Bruce can't buy a win. Keith Stroud was the ref. Never lose with him. Right? And then we lost. So maybe it'll work in the reverse. But yeah, they've got a very good home record. Don't overly surprise me. I think certain teams like that, you always fancy to have a decent home record. But that's a very impressive one. Haven't lost since October. So I think the last game they lost at home, Mousset was up top, and he's not even there anymore. So yeah, it'll be a tough place to go. I've been there a few times, and it's always a difficult one. Never seen us win there. So yeah, hopefully we can turn it round.
There was I think it was on the Shoreham View. Johnny, if you're watching, fantastic channel. I've taken a lot of inspiration from his vlogs actually, because it's absolutely superb stuff. Appeared on his channel at the start of the season. There was a clip from one of his mates, and they were talking about Lys Mousset, and he just said, Lys Mousset is fucking shit. And I just thought, that's, you know what?
We did warn him.
Yeah, we did. You know,
he started really well, didn't he?
He did start really well, and he scored, was it like Arsenal?
Chelsea or someone on Arsenal maybe, yeah.
He scored a couple of really good goals in a game. I thought, oh my God, is he going to do well for them after being poor for us? But anyway, We've talked a couple of times on recent videos about this managerial tier list, and just looking at the last 3 games that we've had. So, if you've not watched the channel before Scott Parker was employed by the club, myself and Tom, maybe a couple of others, we got together and we ranked the managers that that we would like, and ones that are being sort of touted as could be the next AFC Bournemouth manager. So Nigel Pearson was one of them, and I think we put him up there.
Yeah.
Not
more short term. Yeah.
Not at the top level. Of course, we played Bristol City recently. West Brom, Valérien Ismaël. Obviously did really well at Barnsley. I think he was someone that we thought could could be good, but albeit I think that time he'd probably already been picked for West Brom. And then another one we were like, Slavica Jokanovic.
I think he was the one we wanted, wasn't he?
He was the one we wanted, and he was one of 2 or maybe 3 managers. But fair to say, didn't work out so well for him.
No, it really surprised me. I thought he was going to. Yeah, I thought he was going to come in and really, make them a real force, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. Sheffield fans, if you're watching, you'll know more about it, so let us know. But it really surprised me that it didn't work with him, because I thought he had good pedigree. And then I was very surprised, Fulham, for example, got Marco. I thought, I don't want Marco Silva, he's rubbish. Well, look at them. I know he's got the hell of a squad, but sometimes there's certain fits for certain clubs. I mean, going back to Ismaël, look at the job he did at Barnsley, and it just didn't work for him at West Brom. So there is certain fits for certain clubs.
He was sacked early doors, wasn't he? Like, relatively early doors.
Yeah, it felt like it, and they didn't start very well, did they, Sheffield? It really surprised me, because they were my tip to go up. So, for whatever reason, that didn't work, but trust me, if they don't go up this year, they'll be my tip for next season. I think if they keep that squad together, they've got a very good squad.
Yeah, he was sacked off the Blades' first win in 4 games away at Reading, and he was replaced with the under-23 manager, Paul Heckingbottom. So he started off with 3 straight wins for the Blades, including away at Fulham. And I remember, I think it was a really early goal. It was a goal like fairly early doors, and they took a really big following, and they were loud, and
we would have been really happy at the time, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were absolutely chuffed to bits with that, because they were down and
mid-table. Yeah,
I always thought that Sheffield United would creep into the playoffs.
I think everyone kind of thought that, and then it just looked like, is it going to happen? But it looks like it could do. They're well in the hunt now, and they're in there. So Heckingbottom, interesting you mentioned him, because he's been there before. He was with Tyndall, wasn't he? Remember when Tyndall got the job?
Oh my God, yeah. I forgot about that. So
Tyndall was at Sheffield, very small amount of time when they got rid of Wilder and we got rid of Tyndall. He suddenly went to the Premier League, didn't he, with Heckingbottom? This must be the first game in a while that we're playing Sheffield, and there's no Jason Tyndall in sight. But he's there's that little weird link there that I think it's because Tyndall and Heckingbottom have a sort of professional relationship. So let us know what you think of Tyndall as well, Sheffield fans. But legend here, but didn't work for him as a manager.
Yeah, well, Heckingbottom started off with 3 straight wins, as I said, and you know what? After that, his record at home, 8 wins, 2 draws. Away from home, 4 wins, 3 draws and 4 defeats. So not as good on the road. So they remain undefeated at home under him. Their most recent game was on Tuesday night, the first of 3 consecutive home games, and that was against QPR. Finished 1-0 to the Blades. Sheffield United, as we saw in the table, 40 games, 6th position, 64 points. I would say that they're gonna be making the playoffs.
I would have thought so.
I would think.
And I think they're dangerous. I think they'll be dangerous in it. I think it's going to be really. I think if it were to be, as we're hoping, the top 2 as it is now, and then you look at the playoffs, I think it's going to be really competitive. We just spoke about Forest.
I would, if we get autos, I would really enjoy watching these playoffs, because they would all be quality sides. I mean,
can't call it
at the moment. Huddersfield Town, Luton, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, of course, could sneak in. They've got a game in hand over Sheffield United at the moment, but I do feel as though that top 4 is. But then Chris Wilder's doing amazing things at Middlesbrough, so I genuinely wouldn't be surprised. I think Blackburn probably won't make it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if it's bias on you go off the games that you saw against them, but Huddersfield was so bad in 2 games. A bit of 6-0 on aggregate.
Well, maybe they're the ones that drop out.
But I keep saying that, and they're still there, so maybe they won't. And credit to them, but
there's only 4 points between 3rd and 8th.
Yeah. If I had to go for it now, I think I would go. I think there'll be Forest, Sheffield, Middlesbrough, and Luton. I just think Forest, Sheffield and Middlesbrough, when I've seen them, Just very strong, and I think in the playoffs they'll be really. I want Luton just because of that kind of. It'll be a bit more fairy tale-ish, but I think it'd be interesting what the odds do as well, like because how they're going to reflect that. It's going to be really interesting playoffs, and hopefully we can just watch it from the comfort of our chairs now we're Premier League, mate.
How do you feel like going back down memory lane, mate?
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, let's do it.
Firstly, I'm going to take you by surprise though. Can you remember the last time we played at Bramall Lane?
I can. Storm Kiara.
Yeah. Everyone was saying the game should be called off. And was that a lunchtime game? Live on BT Sport, I think.
It was Sunday, wasn't it? Was it Sunday?
Yeah, it was a Sunday lunchtime.
I remember being up there and we were mates, and I think it was, I might be wrong, I think it was Man City West Ham was supposed to be playing as well. And it got called off.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh no. But don't get me wrong, it was a bit windy, but the sun come out by kick-off. It was alright in Sheffield, it was fine. And I remember that one. Moosehead got an assist late on.
We took the lead.
Callum Wilson.
Yeah, I think it was a shot where a rebound that he just put into the net. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then was it Billy Sharp? I think it was Billy Sharp. He always scores against us. Great. And then Moosehead come on and he set up. I think it was that Lundstrom who had a really good season for him. And they beat us, but they were really good at the time, weren't they? And I remember, not being too surprised we would have taken a point there. But yeah, it was a really tricky one, mate. I've been there once before, and I think we got beat like 5-3 or something in League One. So yeah, I've not had great trips there, even though it's a nice stadium, a nice place to go. So yeah, can we just focus on the last time we actually played them?
Yeah, okay, we will do. Firstly, I'm going to give you the stat that in our away games in the league, we've won 1, drawn 2, lost 5. But in all competitions, Bournemouth have won 2, drawn 5, lost 11. Not particularly great, but the match against them at Dean Court early in the season was great.
Enjoyed it.
Let's relive it. We've gone behind for the first time this season. Some good work from Billy Sharp. Cut it back. It's in the back of the net. This is where Scott Parker can earn his money. Oh, look at him. Grab the ball. He's stepping up to take this. Is it going to be a red card? Dom Solanke was striding, just about to take a shot. Legs were taken out. Hopefully he's going to be all right. The referee thought long and hard about it. Well done. And Tom, that was the first time we had a test of sorts, wasn't it?
It was the first time we went behind, and it was like, can we come back and win the game? And obviously we did it. Felt very quickly, didn't it? We got the 2 straight away. Gibbs White on the scoreline, we'll go on to it, but he's a player I really rate. So yeah, it was a test for us. They looked really good, I thought. And yeah, we done. That was a game where I thought, bloody hell, we might have something there. Yeah. It was a real test for us, and I thought we performed really well to come back.
Yeah. So that was a good feeling. I'm about to give you some information which may not give you a good feeling. Sheffield United's top goal scorer this season, Billy Sharp, could return from injury to face the Cherries. That's according to their team news. He's 36 years old. He's netted 15 times in 41 appearances for the Blades in League and Cup this season. He has missed their past 2 fixtures due to a hamstring problem. Asked if he could return in the media, Paul Heckingbottom said, yes, but we're not going to rush him, so maybe on the bench.
Impact sub if they need a goal, maybe. We were talking about earlier when we played him in that Premier League. I think it was the first game when they first come up. They come to us, didn't they?
We took the lead.
Mepham, relatively late, I felt, and then Billy Sharp scored, and it was absolutely. And
that was very late as well. You know what?
Oh.
That was the first game of the season.
Yeah, first game when Sheffield came up.
That was the very first YouTube stuff on this channel.
Was it?
August 2019. That was the first game that we covered as a channel. We obviously did our... Look, we've been a podcast since 2000... This is a good time to tell you to subscribe in it. We've been a podcast since 2016. But our efforts are focusing slowly but surely on YouTube stuff now, and we will have a solution for people who want to listen to audio bits. We'll reveal more in the forthcoming weeks, I'm certain. But then, we went onto YouTube, started to create this monster that we're fully invested in, and we did some free-for-all fan cams. Had a couple of Sheffield United fans on. Had Tim Spencer coming on, Paul Kenwood, AD Brown, I think maybe coming on, and that was 1-1. And at that point in time, I don't know how I felt, but that was.
Handball shouldn't have counted.
No,
I remember there was handball in the build-up. We needed VAR at that point, but I remember that was their really good Premier League season where we were fantastic. But Billy Sharp. He's scored against too many times. He really has. Yeah.
Elsewhere for the Blades, Chris Basham with a knee injury won't be fit for the contest, while Rhian Brewster, David McGoldrick and Jayden Bogle are long-term absentees.
McGoldrick. Ex-Cherry.
That's right. Ollie... Oh, hang on. Wasn't there a stat about ex-Cherry? Oh, no, that's during the week.
Don't worry about David McGoldrick.
It's a weekend game.
He's not playing, it's fine.
Ollie McBurney is expected to be available after illness.
Oh, God, he's a handful as well. He's massive, isn't he?
So your player to watch then, would you say it's Morgan Gibbs-White?
Yeah, it's got to be for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, we just said there about Billy Sharp, and everyone knows what Billy Sharp plays. We've been doing it for donkey's years. But Morgan Gibbs-White is a hell of a player. I don't get me wrong, Wolves are a good team, but I look at Gibbs-White, I think he should be... There's a reason why he's only on loan. I think Wolves will be looking to bring him, Sheffield will hope not, but I think especially if they don't go up, he'll be going back, or they'll have to pay a lot of money, because he's a really good talent. He's still young as well. But really good midfielder. I was kind of thinking about it. We all love Lerma and Lewis Cook. But I said, if you had to have like a midfield 3 in the champ, I think Lerma, Lewis Cook and Gibbs-White would be my 3 actually, just off the top of my head. But really good player, scored a good goal at our place, and he's definitely one to watch. Everyone raves about him, and I know they love him. So we've got to keep an eye on him, mate. Get Lerma to give him a few kicks early doors, I think.
You just give me an idea for a video.
Oh, God.
We'll do that in the next week or so.
I'm busy.
You're
so
not
tired.
Are you?
Too much content. I'm joking. I can't wait for it. Could it be a tier list?
We could work it in. Right, the man in charge is Dean Whitestone. Familiar face this season for some of the Cherries games. The opening home game against West Brom, and also away games at Stoke, Millwall and Blackpool. Unbeaten.
No, don't do this again.
Okay. Yeah.
Not again.
In his 30 games in charge this season, he's issued 88 yellow cards and 1 red. What's a betting that's going to be Lerma for the second this season?
Why did that come to my head straight away?
Let's do pubs and predictions.
Go on then.
So look, I mean, it's an early kick-off, but
cheers, Sky.
Cheers, Sky. Pubs will be open, including the Wetherspoons, which is the Sheaf Island. That's nearest to the ground. Make sure that you're probably not in your colours We've been told it should be okay, but that's a Wetherspoons. You've been there before a game, haven't you?
That was what I went to during Storm Kiara, because I remember being at Wetherspoons, looking out and seeing a bit of drizzle.
Have a bit of brunch, order it on the app. Yeah. You'll be laughing.
Yeah.
Also, you've got the Rutland Arms as well. That's to the north of the stadium. That's in Brown Street as well. And other pubs also include the Sheffield Tap. You've got the Howard as well on Howard Street. And not too far away from that is also the Globe as well. All of which are about a 15 to 20 minute walk away from Bramall Lane. Now, of course, this is called Pubs and Predictions. We'd love to know your predictions. Make sure you pop them in the comments below. Give us a first scorer, and we'll ask you also later on for your team predictions as well, because this one I think is going to be fairly difficult. But in terms of predictions, I mean, I went for a 2-1er, I think, in my last show.
I went 1-0 to us.
Yeah. Lucy was the only one that got it right on the vlog, wasn't she? She said, I feel like we're going to lose. But we can't be doing that on the preview show.
Oh, well, of course not.
No.
Which means I've got to go draw. I don't know. I feel like there will be a reaction from us, but I do think they're a good side.
There has to be a reaction. Otherwise, this performance is not a coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like if I had to put money on it, I would go 1-1.
Okay.
Score draw. But and I feel like even though Sheffield have got hopes of automatics, I think they would probably say they just need to secure the playoffs. So I feel like at 1-1, both teams will be a little bit like, we don't want to get caught, we don't want to lose. It's not a bad point for either teams in some ways. So I feel like it will be quite, that sort of game where neither team's taking the handbrake off too much. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Yeah.
Sort of interesting games, these next sort of couple that we've got, because we've got Middlesbrough. Obviously, Sheffield United are going to be hoping that we can do them a favour
that'd be tough.
when we play them on Good Friday. I'm going to be positive with this. I mean, I know our record at Bramall Lane's not particularly good, but records are there to be broken, I'm going for a 1-0, and I think Dom Solanke...
Go for Dom.
Yeah, could be scoring.
Oh, I need to say a goal scorer, don't I?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and think outside the box. I went for a Nat Phillips header in the last game. That didn't go too well. I'll go 1-1. I'm trying to be a little bit different. I will go with Ryan Christie.
He's going to score a goal.
He's going to cut onto his left foot and just bend one in. Yeah.
Nice.
And
right.
Then Billy Sharp will score.
Yeah. Don't talk about that. Chose 11 time. Right then, chosen 11 time. There's the pitch. Look at that turf. Beautiful turf. And look, put your team prediction in the comments below, because this one's going to be fairly difficult. I think there are going to be 2, maybe 3 changes, perhaps. I mean, let's start as we mean to go on, mate, and we'll put Travers in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. If you want to go with Travers, I was going to go with... No, Travers in goal. I feel a bit of pressure now because I've got 4 in a row.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. 11 out of 11. So this is the one I feel like is the hardest, definitely. Because of the quick turnaround and because of the defeat. Yeah, difficult one.
No pressure then?
No pressure at all. I'm going to stick with Adam Smith at right back.
Okay.
Wouldn't shock me if Stacey come in, but I think he likes Smithy's experience, and this is not the sort of game you'd muck around too much there. So I'll go with him at right back, and obviously Zamora at left back.
Okay, central defence. I mean, Kelly will stay in.
Kelly will stay in.
Because of his pace.
Pace, captain, he'll stay in. I'm going to do a change. I'm going to take Nat Phillips out. I thought he had a bad game in the week, and I think he's...
James Hill, fair play to him. I mean...
Ibsen Rossi's out on loan as well. I'm looking at it, and maybe this is just my thoughts, whether Parker would agree, and we don't know, I think we need a bit of experience. I think the last game showed that, and in hindsight, he maybe would have done this against Andy Carroll. They're going to have Billy Sharp, experienced striker, potentially available as well. I think this could be a game Gary Cahill comes back in for. So I'm going to go Cahill in for Nat Phillips at centre-half.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, give Nat Phillips Bruce. See how Cahill comes through this. If we have to revert back Nat Phillips at home to Borough in nearly a week, I think that's fine. But I think this sort of game could be a game Cahill comes in and just settles everything down again.
Yeah, and gets things organised, yeah. Okay. And that hopefully will take the responsibility off Lloyd Kelly and make him flourish and get his distribution right. Midfield 3. I mean, this midfield it's very modular. You can bring players like Christie inside. You can change a lot.
Yeah.
Would you change a lot?
I mean, I personally would quite like to see Christie in that kind of 10 role. and then maybe have that pace out wide, and just see what Christie can do in there, because I don't think Billing's been performing great, and I don't think Cantwell was very good when he come off the bench. Having said that, I'm doing my predicted. I think we'll stick with the same three. I think Lewis Cook will stay deep, Lerma will stay in there, and I think he'll go with Billing. There's potential for Cantwell, but I thought he was poor when he come off the bench, so I think he's going to stick with that three, of Lewis Cook, Jefferson Lerma, and Philip Billing.
Okay, then in terms of our wide men, do you think there's going to be any caution thrown to the wind by making any changes?
One more change. I'm going to go with 2 changes for this game, so I've already done Kale.
Okay.
Christie will stay on the right. He come off at half time as well, didn't he? So he's probably a bit fresher. He'll stay on the right. I think Dembele's going to come in for Jane Nantley. I don't think it's anything on Jane Nantley, really. I mean, no one played well in the week. He's been okay lately. He's been pretty good. I just feel like Dembele made an impact the other day against Huddersfield. I thought he showed he's what I like about him is he's quite direct, quite no fear.
Yeah.
We'll maybe look at this game at Sheffield are a good side. Might have to play a little bit more counter attack, and he's got a lot of pace, a lot of trickery. Getting to, I all fancy him in a one-on-one with whoever the fullback is. So I'm going to go Dembele in for Anthony, and I'd be happy with that.
And then up front,
well, as long as he's fit, mate, it's the main man, Dom Solanke. Obviously, if he's out, it will just be low because there's the only other option. But hopefully he's fit, and I think we'll get him through. So Dom leading the line.
Superb. There we go. There is our team. Look, if you're travelling up tomorrow, safe journey. We're travelling up tonight. There's going to be no Pop World.
No, early kick-off, mate. Yeah, we're just doing it to get up there, aren't we? Otherwise, you'd have to leave at silly o'clock.
Yeah,
so,
and I mean the coaches are leaving very early. I think before 5 a.m. outside the Vitality Stadium. So have a good trip. If you're watching this on the coach, put a little coach emoji in the comments as well. Let us know that you're watching us. But come and see us after the game as well. We'd love to have you on the fan cams if you're brand new. And look, if you want to be on the vlog, just give me a shout. Just give me or Tom a shout, and we'll get you on at half time or before the game, as we're trying to build up to what hopefully will be a decent Cherries performance. I'll take a point. But
feels like a big one, mate.
Just want to see the performance ahead of what's not going to be an easy match against Middlesbrough, against a Chris Wilder side that, obviously Sheffield United know him all too well. Anyway, if you haven't done already, not sure if you've noticed, whether you're watching this on a phone or a tablet or whatever, if you just scroll, there's this little button underneath, and if it's still red, we need to have a word with you.
Click it. It doesn't need to be red. It's annoying when it's red as well, when it's all bright and you just want to get rid of it. So just click the button. Click subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Share on your socials. Give us a little like. Do all that good stuff. And mate, I'm looking forward to this one, but I am nervous. It's a big, pivotal weekend in the Championship, I think. This could be the weekend we go, we've done it. Or this could be the weekend we go, bit squeaky now.
Oh, God.
Come on, the boys.
Come on, the boys. Sheffield United fans, there's going to be an away day tier list on your club as well coming up. Loads of content, so you might find fit to press that button. Okay, then. Let's do it. We're going to be driving up shortly, aren't we? Cannot wait.
Can't wait for it, mate. I'm going to go get some minstrels or something and just get some sweeties in. Let's get ready for the trip. Come on.
The chest.